going to get in the habit of this. Hi, I'm Michelle.
And I'm Perla.
And you are tuning in to our podcast, Creating a Meaningful Life. Perla, how are you?
I'm just fine. How are you?
It's cold. It's cold.
I know.
It's cold out there. That's the only problem. I don't mind cold weather if you could be inside with a glass of hot tea.
Well, give me the sunny beaches of femininity. I don't like the cold.
Exactly. Well, we wanted to bring to you today some hope and healing. I think we all need that right now. I know I always need hope and healing. And specifically, we wanted to talk about a couple of holy places that are in our backyards. And before we start that, would you like to know like a couple of origins of holy places?
Yeah, like you've been to several.
Right. So in Christianity, they say the first real holy spot was the first miracle. There's 37. I had to memorize those in my religious studies degree. But the first miracle was in Cana, which is about 5 miles to the northeast of Nazareth in Israel. And this was the spot where there was a wedding going on. And Mary was hosting it, Mother Mary. And she ran out of wine. And this was like a disaster back then. This was more than a cultural faux pas. I mean, she would have to move. So she goes, hey, Jesus, I don't know what we're going to do here. We run out of wine. Oh, my God. And he said, I got you. I got this. Sit down. Calm down. And he changes the water into wine. And on a just pause button note, I think that was his wedding to Mary Magdalene. And that's another podcast. So that was a holy spot. And then, like, for example, in Buddhism, there's the place where Buddha got enlightenment. I went to the Jokan Temple in Tibet, which is the holiest place in Buddhism in Tibet. And so there are places around the world that really activate and illuminate the divine in us. But most importantly, today, we're going to talk about some healing places.
And you're talking about healing the soul and healing physical
That's a good
healing.
Question. I think these places are personal. And when I go, I'm typically seeing in these spots people that need physical healing. But sometimes we do need spiritual healing.
Spiritual healing, emotional healing. And I think it qualifies for all of them.
And I know some people that need mental healing.
We're not talking about them today.
Okay. So the first one is the Loretto Chapel in Santa Fe. And you know, Santa Fe and San Francisco and San Diego and Santa Barbara all were founded by the Spaniards. And so they brought in their history and their mythology. And Santa Fe is the oldest capital city in the United States. Now, of course, it's not the oldest capital of the United States. It's 600 years old, but the Spaniards made it the capital. So it's a very unique place. It's got a lot of different it's got the Indian culture, it's got the Spanish culture, and they all married and combined. So here's the story of the Loretto Chapel. And before I start, I just want to tell you a personal story I have about this place. My son, Sam, as you know, was born blind. He was blind for 3 years. He now has 20/20 vision, and he's 23 years old. But I would go into the Loretto Chapel to get hope and healing every single time he had his eye appointment up there in Santa Fe. And so this holds a very special place in my heart. But the story is this. There's a famous architect, 1800s, that designed this beautiful church, but he died. And no one could figure out how to get to the choir. There was no way to get to it. There wasn't a room. There wasn't a back staircase. And it's a very compact church. So the sisters didn't know what to do. So they prayed 9 days in a row.
It's called novena.
Oh, is it novena?
Mm-hmm.
So on the 9th day, is that the novena day? The Dia de Novena?
No, it's just when you pray in Catholicism, when you pray 9 days in a row, the same prayer, praying for something, it's called a novena.
And 9 is a very auspicious number, the number of... Anyway, so lo and behold, a man knocks on their door, and he's carrying tools and a donkey. So he pretty much...
He wasn't carrying the donkey.
He wasn't carrying the donkey. He was riding a donkey. But he asked the sisters to let him into the chapel. And I think it was around 3 months, nonstop. This man worked by himself. And one day, he vanished. And the sisters came in, and what they saw to this day is an architectural just phenomenon in that There's not one single nail in the staircase. And the way that it's constructed to this day, any architect will say, I don't know how they did it. I have no idea how they did it. Well, they wanted to pay the guy. They put an ad in the local paper, and no one ever came forward. 3 months of work. So they determined that it was Saint Joseph himself that came to fix that staircase. But here's another really odd thing. Now we can take the type of wood, because it's pine, type of wood, and do some testing on it. And lo and behold, it's not from any tree in the lower part of the 48. It's from Alaska, 3,700 miles from Santa Fe.
Well, at least it's from this earth.
Exactly, because you never know.
You just never know.
So when you walk into this incredible space, I just sit and
It is beautiful. I've seen it.
you just sit and surround yourself with gratitude. And I would offer a prayer of courage and strength to myself to be able to face what I had to face with a blind son. And I also asked for a milagro every time, a miracle, every time I went. And I got that miracle. So it's an incredibly important place, and people come from all over to see that.
Now, I think they closed it off so you can't touch it anymore.
You cannot touch the staircase. And I think that's right, because our grimy little hands and our grimy, that's probably the right thing.
Yeah.
And right next door is St. Francis. And I brought this to show y'all. This is holy water from Lourdes that they sell next door of the Loretto Chapel. And it's holy water, another sacred site of hope and healing. And I gave some of this to Perla when I got back from Lourdes. And then about 45 miles to the north of Loretto Chapel is Chamayo. So Chamayo, the story with that is the Indians used this particular point in northern New Mexico for healing. It was a stream. Did you know that? And it was water. Mm-hmm. And a man in the late 1800s all of a sudden saw a crucifix and a dark-skinned Jesus Christ on the crucifix. So he picked up the crucifix and he took it to Santa Cruz, the church. Well, every day they did that, the cross went back to the original spot. So they went, okay, we get it. And they built the sanctuary. How do you say that in Spanish?
Chamayo, Santuario de Chamayo.
And that's where they put it. Well, the stream dried up, and in its place became dirt. And so now what you can do is you go to this beautiful, beautiful area, and they have a small hole, and you get your little plastic container and you put your dirt. And when I had cancer in my face and my face was being reconstructed, I took that dirt, I put it all over my face. You can do anything you want to with it. But it's another magical place.
So let me ask you something, and I don't have an answer for this. I'm just bringing it up. Do you think that dirt is actually holy, or is it people's belief in that dirt that makes it pure?
Well, isn't that a good question? I believe that it's a personal experience that you have. Now, let's say we have a friend. We have a lot of friends that could go with us to that church. You go, oh, it's just a bunch of dirt. This is it's just a bunch of dirt. Well, guess what? It's just a bunch of dirt. But you can activate and illuminate that incredible holy energy that you feel when you are there. And you can go to mass at that church. It's only in Spanish. And it is absolutely healing. If any of you need a little hope and a little healing, I suggest that you join Perla and I, and we'll go on a field trip. No, seriously, if you want to go, Loretto Santa Fe is easy to get to. There's an airport there now that has American Airlines. We, of course, drive 4 hours up. But it is such a beautiful area. Loretto, the St. Francis Church, Chamayo. It's just so incredible. I highly recommend any of you that need hope and healing, this is your place.
Well, there's also a room in Chimayo where there are people hang their
Yes,
what do they call
the crutches.
The crutches.
Yeah, that's
Because
so true.
they were cured there, so they hang their crutches in that room to show other people that they were cured of whatever physical ailment they had, that they couldn't walk. So
Talk about hope, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a powerful message when you go in to get on your knees and you're looking up and you see glasses, like, eyeglasses, and you see a lot of just incredible things happen in that place. I do believe that there are actually acupuncture points on this earth that are all connected. And we know, like, for example, Sedona's connected to like Machu Picchu and the meridian lines. And actually, did you know that if you take where we are right now and you go halfway around the world, do you know the exact spot? Lhasa, Tibet, the holiest place in Buddhism, is right here. I'm so happy that we live in the Southwest.
that's what I'm told, that the Southwest is some kind of a very unique spiritual area.
No, we have a lot of blending of cultures. We had the Native Americans were here. We have how many pueblos in the beautiful state of New Mexico. And then we had the Spaniards come in with their beliefs. And then, it's
And
just,
the Indian culture, oh my God.
yeah, we'll have to do an entire show on that. That's pretty remarkable up in Taos.
Yes.
So if y'all have any questions, we would love for you to put them down below.
Yep, we have.
And we will answer them, and we would absolutely love to have you interface with us, and we would like to start a narrative and a dialogue.
Especially if you yourself have felt some kind of a miracle or seen some kind of miracle, we'd love to hear from you.
Oh, that would be so great. And if you need a little hope or healing, you can contact us too, and we'll help you navigate that. And if it's not Loretto and if it's not Chimayo, we will figure out a spot that we think helps you. So thanks so much. This is Michelle Cromer,
And this is Perla Maldonado.
and y'all have been listening to Create a Meaningful Life. And we are wishing you health, happiness, and love.
Yeah. For the new year.
Bye.
Bye.